Today we are going to understand a poem Have You Ever Seen? Now, first we'll read the poem. Have you ever seen a sheet on a riverbed or a single hair from a hammer's head? Has the foot of a mountain any toes? And is there a pair of garden hose? Does the needle ever wink its eye? Why does not the wing of a building fly? Can you tickle the ribs of a parasol or open the trunk of a tree at all? Are the teeth of a rake ever going to bite? Have the hands of a clock any left or right? Can the garden plot be deep and dark? And what is the sound of the bird's bark? Now we'll try to understand this poem. So here are the explanations of the poem line by line. Have you ever seen a sheet on a riverbed or a single hair from a hammer's head? In this line, the poet is asking the reader if he has ever seen a sheet on a riverbed. And the poet here actually means a bed sheet on a riverbed, which is the bottom of the river. And in the next line, the poet is imagining the top of a hammer as a human head without any hair. Now, next line, has the foot of mountain any toes? And is there a pair of garden hose? Here the poet is wondering the mountain foot to be human foot with toes, as if the mountain foot is having toes. But in reality, it does not have any. And in the next line, the poet wants to know if the reader has seen a pair of garden hose, which is a rubber tube to water the plants. At the same time, the word hose means a pair of stockings, which are long socks worn on legs. Thinking of a garden hose as a pair of stockings is really funny. Now, next, does the needle ever wink its eye? Why does not the wing of a building fly? In this line, the poet goes even further and wonders if the eye of a needle could ever wink. The eye, which is the whole of a needle, is given a human quality to wink. And in the next line, the poet wonders why the wing of a building, which means a section of a building, cannot fly like birds in spite of wings. Now, can you tickle the ribs of a parasol or open the trunk of a tree at all? In this line, the poet extends his imaginations when he thinks about the ribs of a parasol, which means the metal structure of an umbrella, to be like human ribcage, which can be tickled and make a person laugh. He wonders if the ribs of an umbrella can laugh too when tickled. And in the next line, the poet uses the word trunk very smartly when he compares the trunk of a tree with a big trunk, which is actually a metal box, which can be opened. Thus, he wonders if the trunk of a tree can be opened. Next lines. Are the teeth of a rake ever going to bite? Have the hands of a clock any left or right? In this line, the poet compares human teeth with that of rake, which is garden tool used to gather leaves or grass. He imagines if the teeth of a rake can bite like human teeth. And in the next line, the poet wonders if the two pointers of a clock, minute hand, and hour can be described as a right hand or the left hand as we humans have. Can the garden plot be deep and dark? And what is the sound of the bird's bark? In this line, the poet uses the word garden plot to describe a garden area. But then he wonders if the plot is dark and deep. The poet means the story plot or the background of a story, which can be dark and deep, which means evil and full of thrill and the mystery. And finally, in the line, the poet uses the word bark in an amusing way, where he imagines if the bark of a tree, which means the skin of a bird's tree, can ever bark like dogs. So, here in this poem, as we can see, the poet has used many homographs. So, the first question is, what is homograph? So, we'll try to understand what is homograph. Words that have the same spelling but differ in meaning when used in different contexts are called homograph. So, two things always keep in mind: same spelling and differ in meaning. Now, we'll try to understand with an example. First example, ruler, ruler. It has two meaning. First meaning, a tool used for measuring length, and second meaning, a king or a queen. Now, next example, we'll try to understand bat. Bat is a flying mammal, as well as it's an object to hit the ball. So it is always important to know homographs so that we can understand the sentence, we can be better readers, and we can write sentences correctly. I hope you have understand this beautiful poem. Have you ever seen? Thank you so much.